Welcome back, Stanley here. So I have these repeated questions that are asked over and over by flat earthers in the comments. And sometimes it seems like it's the same guy asking over and over again with different accounts because the wording is even the same. Regardless, I'm going to create this video so that I can answer most of the objections and have something to link to so people can watch it instead of me having to answer them repeatedly. There's this new video that came out by this guy Paul, and one of the interesting things is that he doesn't really credit anybody. He doesn't even credit the other flat earther whose video he's basically stolen to debunk my video. But let's scooch over to that video, the original video. This is it right here, by this guy Listen Mullah SB. I'm not even sure how you pronounce that, but it was created in February 2nd, 2017. It's actually a pretty cool video. I suggest everybody go check it out. So this video is 720p max resolution, which is what I have it on. Well, it's on auto, but let's go ahead and switch it to 720p. And let's scrub that so it loads up 720. Well, I think it was already in 720p. But I want you to notice something, that there's this like very large amount of atmospheric distortion going on. And if this were evidence that I proposed was proving the globe, it would be rightly so rejected because the atmospheric distortion is just terrible. But one of the things that's interesting about this video is that tried to pause it in the right spot, that the lines of the towers are not straight. So you can see here that this is actually a curve. You can see here that this is actually a curve, and interestingly there's like this line where everything just starts blurring. Also, if you look down here at the end, that's also a curve. So I'm not sure why flat earthers are like touting this, as it seems to be evidence that refraction's a real thing and supports the globe model. Seems to support the conventional model, as we keep talking about refraction and they keep wanting to act like it's not something that's real or something. Anyway, so I've had a couple people send me some images. This is from Conrich. Let's see, here we go. So Conrich sent me this, and he actually pointed out, not in this picture, but in this picture, he pointed out the same thing, that there's a curve here and a curve here. That's pretty obvious. You know, some of these towers appear to be actually going up above the line, and then they all of a sudden come down below the line. It's at 203 in the original video. Let's see, what's the other things he points out here? Yeah, what's this white structure? I agree. What is that white structure? I think that's a boat, actually. I don't think that's the shoreline over there, because the angle of the shoreline right there goes like way back. It's pretty steep. I really don't think that is, but this video is so low quality that it's very hard to tell what any of this stuff is. I would argue that this is some type of mirage. Actually, this even looks like it's mirrored right here if you look right here. So it kind of looks like where the towers are curving in my videos is actually getting mirrored on the bottom down here. Whereas if it wasn't being mirrored, you'd actually see the bottom also curving down. So I think we are definitely seeing some serious atmospheric issues going on here. My suggestion would be that the guy goes back and repeats the observation, because if he does, he'll see what I've seen. And that is that on repeated occasions I've gone back and seen the same exact scene, which is the towers are curving. I've gone back in different scenarios. One is where it's been cloudy. The other one is where I've had blue skies. Let's see, is this a blue sky day? That might be one of the cloudy days. I've had blue skies. I've had rainy skies. I've even done it at night. Let me see. Where's that night shot? Here it is. So I've even taken a picture at night. This is a 30-second exposure. and that was very hard to capture because it required basically a 30-second gap between traffic, because every time a car would pass by me, it would shake my car, and it would cause blur in the pictures. So there's even a little, you can see it right here, look, there's a little, must have been like one car passed me in this little gap right here. But yeah, so Anthony Riley and Ranty Rant wanted me to go back and take this picture because they thought it would be more convincing that maybe the Earth was in fact a globe. And they've failed to talk about these images because they didn't think I'd actually do it. Another thing that people bring up is that there's some type of lens distortion going on, or maybe a GoPro lens. It's definitely not a GoPro lens. This is me taking a picture at 300 millimeters. So this is my telephoto lens taking a picture of a grid at 300 millimeters. That shows that there is very little, if any, lens distortion. And if you take that picture and overlay it on one of my other pictures, you can see quite clearly that the lens distortion is not responsible for this curve right here. Okay. So also, there's another flat earther that took a video of the towers that for some reason flat earthers don't want to talk about. And that's because his video, even though he thinks it's showing linear perspective, which it's not, it's certainly not linear, that's a curve. His video was taken with a Nikon P900 super zoom. And if you look, his video is way, way, way lower quality than my images. And yet here it is, still showing a curve. I mean, in the same exact spot that my video showed a curve. This guy's a flat earther. So you might want to evaluate the situation here. My pictures are genuine. My videos are genuine. That's all there is to it. Simply calling it Photoshop will not do. That is a very unsatisfactory answer. And the only reason you ever go to it's photoshopped is because you have no answer. And that is the truth about flat earthers. So I will link each of these videos in my description because I think we should credit the other people that are doing the work. Now there is a guy in my comments that actually succinctly commented on a few different things that flat earthers keep bringing up over and over, and it kind of brings out a lot of misconceptions. And so let's talk about these. This guy says there are all sorts of problems in my video and that the curve drops off towards the end. Okay, that's expected. That's what the conventional model predicts. He says that the lake is 40 miles across. Actually, it's 16 miles to the back tower. I've already put that in my other videos. I've answered this multiple times. Why he comes up with this number 40, I have no idea. And thus there should be a drop of almost 1,000 feet. Wait. That math doesn't even make sense. 8 times distance squared, 40 squared. No, that number's way off. So that's not even 8 squared. That's not even 8 times distance squared. Okay, if you use the 8 times distance squared, it automatically labels you as a flat earther. That is not the correct way to make this calculation. It does not take the observer into account. We've already said that multiple times. I've provided the correct calculations. I've provided a calculator in my spreadsheet, which is linked to multiple of my videos. We're looking for like 20 to 40 feet of obstruction. That's what's actually the conventional model predicts on that back tower. The back tower is 210 feet tall. So yeah, it lines up with the conventional model, not this, whatever this is. This is some straw man model he made to debunk. It is not the conventional model. The conventional model is WGS 84. It makes certain predictions. If you are debunking something that it doesn't make predictions about, then you're not debunking the conventional model. And this certainly is not a conventional model prediction, so I don't know what model he's debunking, but it's not the conventional model. But the horizon is perfectly flat. Yes, the conventional model predicts that the horizon should be flat. That's because it's a perfectly round circle around you. Especially on a large body of water, you're going to see a circle around you where every point on that circle is equidistant away from you, which means it has the same exact drop, which means you're essentially looking at the side of a hula hoop. You will not tell that the horizon curves until you get high enough to realize that you're looking down on a disk. That is the prediction of the conventional model. So again, I don't know what you guys are debunking whenever you say the horizon is perfectly flat, because the conventional model predicts that the horizon should be perfectly flat at these lower altitudes. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you can see what looks like buildings on the other side, 40 miles away. It's not 40 miles away. Again, he's making a mistake there. What buildings? Go look at it in Google Earth. There aren't too many buildings over it. As a matter of fact, I think it's just marshland. What's he talking about? Buildings. Buildings. What could he possibly be talking about? There's no buildings over there. Maybe he's talking about the trees. Where's that shot I have? I hate these. It's taking too long to do this video because of addressing so many things. Anyway, yeah, one of these has probably got a picture of some trees in it. The shore on the left side is a lot closer than the shore on the right side. The shore on the right side is, it drops back at a very steep angle, so it's highly unlikely that you're seeing any shore on the right side. Here we go. Yeah, this is probably what he's talking about. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. There's some trees. Trees on the shore. Those aren't buildings. What is he talking about? He needs to clarify. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Here we go. Third, the videos of poor quality. My video is far superior to any of these other videos. I mean, it's way sharper, way clearer. What are you talking about? Wow. Has been processed. Okay, there is a video that has been processed. I actually say it's processed in the description, and I actually link to the raw videos that it's comprised of, which aren't processed. So again, misconceptions, not paying attention to the information that's available. Look at the descriptions. I try and provide all my raw stuff to you. So yeah, you have no excuses. Looks more like a distorted lens. Again, I already pointed that out. It's not a distorted lens. This is me taking a picture of a grid at 300 millimeters. It's not a distorted lens. Okay, this is me overlaying that grid on top of one of my pictures. It's not a distorted lens. Okay, so pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to the questions that have already been answered. It's not a distorted lens. I've already proven that. Since there's no 1,000-foot drop again, man, it's really bad. And the shore seems somewhat visible. There's a haze, sky above, distortion from atmospheric refraction, etc. There are images I took, very, very clear images I took on a day that I did not expect it to be clear, actually, where you can look right here. You can see the trees, okay? You can see trees on the shore. On the opposite shore, right here. Oh, this is probably the video, maybe a picture he's talking about. Maybe he thinks there's buildings over here. But you can see the trees on the opposite shore right here, okay? And there is not, do you see any distortion in this picture? I mean, what are they talking about, distortion? Compare this picture, which, by the way, is way higher resolution in RAW, right? I mean, compare this picture to this video, please. Which one is better? Or this video? Or this picture? Let's be honest, guys, okay? Let's graduate past kindergarten. Let's move this conversation at least into middle school. Because this picture is 5 times higher resolution than those pictures. That's all there is to it. Can't argue that. I mean, it's the truth. Okay. So, I hate these freaking long videos. Anyway, you cooked it. Oh, well, so I'm faking it. That's what it is. The video does not look natural from all the shaking color example. It looks like some would normally digital process YouTube. Okay. Yeah. The what is it? The Flat Earth curve water number 5. Yeah, it says it in the description that I use YouTube stabilization. That's correct. But I also linked the raw videos. guys, you have to at least catch up to the context. You have to at least watch the videos in their entirety and catch up to the context before you can start making these stupid accusations like this. I mean, it makes you really look dumb, especially when you say, you know, one of the first things this guy was saying was, where is it? Again, I repeat, link the video. Dude, this is 4 hours ago, okay? Dude, do you know how long these videos have been around? A lot longer than 4 hours. Okay? So, figure it out. These guys they're just terrible at doing their research. So anyway, another guy, which is Cold Dim Sum on Twitter. Let's see. Yeah, Cold Dim Sum on Twitter. He runs this blog. It's called Flat Earth Insanity. And I've seen it a couple times, but I didn't know who the guy was until tonight. And I actually was talking to him, and he said, I told him what I was about to do, and he said, have you seen my blog article? And I was like, no, I hadn't. And so he linked me to this blog article where he did this breakdown, this really great breakdown on this video. And he put side by side my image with the video image and how much higher resolution my image is. And then he shows like what perspective should be doing versus what the image, the observation is actually doing. And let's see. He also makes points about how many poles, how there's so many more poles in the background, and that's what you have to understand, is that the reason that you see so much curvature is because we have, like, in my picture here, it's like at max there's 30 poles up to the horizon, and there's 80 poles total. So there's 50 poles from the horizon to this tower in just a few what is this, maybe 100 pixels, okay? So that's why you see that curve compressed, and that is what you would expect to see. This is exactly what you would expect to see based on the conventional model. This is conventional model predictions being played out in a photograph. That's what y'all failed to understand. The conventional model makes predictions. This is one of them. This is actually validating the predictions that the conventional model is making. So, you know, in order to say there's some other explanation, you have to provide a new explanation that is convincing, and you guys don't. You know, perspective is not a convincing argument at all, because that is not what perspective does. Straight lines stay straight when you're talking about perspective. Now, why isn't the horizon bending? Well, it's obvious, because it's a circle. It's an equidistant circle around you, and that's why when you look in this picture right here, or if you look in this picture right here, that's why you see less and less of trees, and then the trees get taller and taller and taller and taller and taller. That's because they're actually going over the horizon. They're going over the horizon at an angle that makes it to where the trees get shorter and shorter and shorter. Just like the causeway, cars over the horizon, or cars over the curve, or whatever I called that video. That's exactly what's happening. The bridge is so close to the horizon that it just kind of like, it slowly goes over the horizon, so you can see the lower pillars getting shorter and shorter and shorter. That's exactly what you would expect. That's what the conventional model predicts, and that's what we see in the photographs. So you have to come up with an explanation that explains it better than a conventional model. If you can't, then you don't have a model. And if you don't have a model, then why would you believe it? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Okay, so go check out Cold Dim Sum's blog article, because it's really great. He kind of like details what's going on, and compares the two different videos and images and stuff like that. And this is a really good example. I mean, this is the ratio of my image resolution to the ratio of the videos, the 720p video image resolution. This is how much more resolution I have in my images. Okay, so yeah, you need to just take a peek at this and try and understand what's actually going on. Another thing is, and he kind of describes it a little differently here, but my analysis of this is, if you look at my image right here versus this guy's image, I mean, this little triangle right here, okay, is this little triangle right here, right? Are you guys seeing this? Now, where is the horizon in this triangle versus the horizon in this triangle? What's going on here? I mean, something is going haywire with the horizon, or maybe it's just the angle. It could just be the angle he's taking the picture from. I don't even understand how he could have gotten any higher than I did, honestly. Yeah, he would have had to gotten. He had to get higher because of these wires. Anyway, worth looking at. This article is great. He lets people comment. If you have a Google Plus account, people can comment on this article. So go check it out. It's really detailed, and he did a good job. So one more thing is, I hope I have answered everybody's stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and try and start a hangout tonight. And if any flat earthers want to jump in and ask me honest questions, I'll be happy to answer them. One of the things I've always said, and I'll say again, is that the pictures are completely 100% genuine. Have come straight from my camera into that drive folder for you to look at and evaluate yourself. And yet people keep calling them fake, and they're not. So they are genuine. And one of the things that keeps being brought up is people want me to get a Nikon P900 and zoom in. You know what? I have a challenge for you. I just set up this Patreon account. You go and fund me enough to buy a Nikon P900, and I'll do that first. But what we really need is Wolfie's setup, Wolfie 6020 setup, which is a like say a Celestron 8-inch, so a Celestron 8 SE, an 8-inch Schmidt Cassegrain telescope with a side mount for the P900. If I had that, then I could take video with the P900 zoomed in and take still shots by making the Cassegrain, the Schmidt Cassegrain, my primary lens for my camera. And that way, I would have a true 2,000 millimeter zoom on my bigger sensor, so it should outperform the P900. We can do a comparison from the P900 that I'd have side mounted on the telescope. I will do the work. All I'm asking you to do, which I think is a fair trade, is to enable me to do the work by letting me purchase the equipment. Now, I'm not going to go out and purchase $2,000 worth of equipment because a bunch of flat earthers are calling me a liar. But if a bunch of flat earthers want to fund me, I will, or even globe earthers, if anybody wants to see these observations done at higher resolution, I will do the work. Just help me buy the equipment. That's all I ask. So I'm not sure how this Patreon stuff works because I just set it up, but I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get this set up correctly. And please, go fund me, and I will do it. I will do the work. I think that's it. I think I've hit all the major points. This is my playlist. There is a playlist, Flat Earthers. Right now it has 16 videos. As soon as I add this one, it'll be 17 videos. So there's a playlist. Go watch the videos, or at least look at the descriptions where I put all kinds of resource links in there. Do at least that much. And then if you have questions that I haven't answered, I would be happy to answer them. And maybe I'll just collect them all together and do one more video or something. But I think I've pretty much addressed all the different concerns. It basically amounts to people really want, or flat earthers really want my evidence to be tore down because it scares the shit out of them. And it should scare the shit out of them, because once they actually accept the fact that it's real, that means, like, you know, the 90% of their life that is based on flat earth and based on these lies is going to have to be tore down, you know, and that's not a happy process. It's not a friendly process. I mean, basically, firsthand knowledge is the fire that burns away all ignorance, and it's painful, you know, it's really painful. And so, I mean, I really don't want to be an ass about it. I really don't. I've tried not to be an ass as much as possible. But some guys just refuse to be honest, and those guys, I am going to be an ass to you, because you're just being a dishonest prick. So, okay, I think I've pretty much covered everything. I hope I did. I'm sorry this video is so freaking long, and I'm not even sure if you've reached the end, but if you have, thank you. And I will see you later. Soundly out.